Hello, everyone. My name is Clint Rice. I'm here today with a very special guest. I've been doing a series that's been focused on job searching, giving you tools, hopefully, and ideas that will help as you search for jobs. I know a lot of folks are in the same position as I am at the moment in that. I've got a very close and dear friend, Bernie, who's on the line, who's on with us today. Bernie Biren. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, Clint. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for joining today. And I couldn't think of a better person to bring to this conversation and just get some insight. So, Bernie, do you want to say a little bit about yourself? I know I've done some, not to
Yes,
steal your thunder.
yeah. The last 29 years, I've worked for Lee Hecht Harrison, which is a career transition firm. I
Mhm.
was an executive coach there and a senior career coach or consultant, depending on your flavor. And I've enjoyed doing that. In fact, it was one of the things that I developed as a volunteer in the basement of a church, helping unemployed people connect to jobs.
Hmm.
And I was able to take that volunteer work and turn it into a vocation, which I did for 29 years. I retired back in 2021.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks again for joining. I know just a great career for sure. So there's been a lot of change in the market, instability in the market. There's macroeconomic stuff going on. There's government things going on, the war in Ukraine and all. Tech companies, not just tech companies, but by and large, we've seen the headlines most with tech companies doing some manner of layoffs, and so a lot of people find themselves in the job market. So really, Bernie, I just wanted to turn it over to you and ask, from your perspective, if you were somebody searching in the job market, or if you had advice for somebody who is, where would you start?
I think the best place to start is look at it like it's a job search project. And you probably all had to do projects during your last job, that kind of thing. And so this particular project, as we start the job search, would be putting together a project plan for your job search. And that
Mm-hmm.
would contain three parts: your professional objective, your target market, and your core message. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to comment about each of those
Yeah.
to give you an idea what we're looking at here. So, taking the first one, the professional objective, the key would be what is it you want to do that you're really let's say, pumped up about, that you've got
Mm-hmm.
some expertise and skills in. And you can either look at that from the standpoint of you have a career map and you're going for the next promotion in that career ladder that you have been working in the past few years. And
Mm-hmm.
that would be based on, are you new in the field? Are you mid career? Are you a senior executive? Are you close to retirement? So that
Mm-hmm.
would all have an impact in terms of your experience and your career to date. Now, with COVID, you just mentioned a while ago all the things that we're experiencing in the marketplace. In fact, there's
Mm-hmm.
500,000 jobs that are going unfilled now because people are a lot of people are not working that were working previously, but with
Mm-hmm.
COVID and everything, it's upset a lot of things. And so now you may be looking at how you market your skills, your expertise, and your problem solving capabilities. That can be the important thing now. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason being that business leaders today are looking at people from the standpoint of skills and aptitudes that they currently need rather than past job titles.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's
Gotcha.
key. And the
Mm.
key also is different industries. In other words, your industry, you may have come out of the insurance industry, but what other industries could use your experience?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not always you got to stay in the same industry and move with that industry. You
Mm.
don't.
Gotcha. So you're kind of saying then that, maybe your career has been in a certain lane or a certain path, and in a normal market, you might just stay that way and see growth and all. But this is kind of an opportunity with lots of change, whether it be COVID or macroeconomic conditions, that would give you the ability to take your passions and your skills and find another application for them in a different lane.
That's correct.
Hmm.
That's a good way to describe it. And so thus your resume is going to reflect the skills that are going to be fitting the jobs in today's market rather than your career path.
Okay.
So
That's really insightful. Yeah, because we've covered in previous episodes that your resume is a bit of an advertisement, not necessarily a journal of your work history. And I think that gets to it. Supply and demand, right? You want to be the supply for the demand that's current.
yeah, and so that first page on your resume is going to look a lot different. You may not even get to your most recent job
Hmm.
because what are they looking for in the marketplace? And you got to keep in mind with a resume, it's what grabs their attention. And so
Hmm.
if the business leader or the decision maker is looking for certain experience, capabilities, that kind of thing, they need to come right out. So that's going to be in your professional objective that you're sharing with people, as well as in the resume.
Okay, that's super helpful.
Okay. The next thing then is the target market. So you need to identify the location and industry and size of companies that you want to go to work for. And so one way to do this is to start with looking at a geographical area and identifying the organizations in that area
Hmm.
that you find of interest that could maybe use somebody. And don't worry about whether or not they have job openings. You pick companies that you're most interested in going to work for. That that's the key because
Hmm.
they'll learn more about you through the networking process and referrals when you get a chance to talk to them. So you've got to, in determining the target market, always make sure that the commuting distance is going to be done easily as opposed to spending an hour or 2 hours on the road just to get to a job because
Hmm.
it takes up a lot of time.
Right.
If the location is something that you're thinking about, then pick a target area in the relocation and start working on that from a distance. That's
Hmm.
possible too. And then along with the geographical area, you need to be looking at the type of organization that you want to look at. Are you looking at another business? Are you looking at nonprofit? Are you looking at education?
Hmm.
That's going to make a big difference. And then the size of the companies. Is it
Hmm.
going to be a small company, 10 employees, 100 employees, 1,000, 10,000? I
Hmm.
mean, it could
Yeah.
be any size. And then along with that is the revenues. Is it a small company, 1 to 10 million? Is it going to be in the billions? So
Hmm.
size and those kinds of things are going to have an impact on how much are they going to be paying? Are you looking to improve your salary? Are you willing to, I don't need all that money now. I can take something without a lot of pressure, that kind
Hmm.
of thing. So that's
Yeah,
going
yeah. Culture and stability is a big part of that too. A big company you might think has more stability, and the company might, but as we all
to,
know, big companies, do lay off sometimes, and so stability at the job level. So that makes sense. So you're saying geographic location, the kind of company, is it for profit, not for profit, education or something,
right.
the size of it, and then you're using kind of two metrics for size. You're using number of employees, which may change the culture quite a bit depending on one side or the other of the spectrum, and then revenue.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's key because, and then make a list of 40 to 50 companies. And so this may change throughout your networking process, but start with 40 or 50 because you want to get enough companies that enough openings are
Mm.
occurring each month. Let's
Okay.
say anywhere from 10 to 50, so that, and remember, I said earlier, the idea is get there with the job interview before the opening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
key.
So you accumulate enough companies kind of in your list. It almost reminds me of interest on a bank. Like you keep
Right.
drawing some interest off, but that thing that's yielding is a certain number of open positions on a monthly basis.
Right.
Hmm.
That's right.
Excellent. Okay, that's super helpful.
Okay. And then the last one is your core message. This is what describes your qualifications, and you need that in the language of your target market.
Mm.
So take a given industry like insurance again. There's
Hmm.
certain lingo that goes with insurance.
Hmm.
But if you're looking to move into a new industry, what's the language of that industry? And of course,
Right.
you can learn that through your networking contacts, that kind of thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. And then you want to make sure you deliver your message to decision makers because you want to tell them about how useful you can be in getting the things done that they need to get done. And so that's what you're looking for. You may not start there. On the other hand, you may know some because of
Hmm.
your past experience, but the networking is to lead you to decision makers. So if you've got 40 to 50 companies, you're looking for 40 or 50 decision makers here
Mm.
in the
Gotcha. Okay.
process. And so you want to keep that going all the time because you don't want to just take one and then work it to the end and then it may fail. So
Right.
you always have to
Yeah.
have a number working.
Kind of several irons in the fire, so to speak. Yeah.
That's a good expression, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then keep in mind that when you write your resume, that as you keep talking to people, you're going to have your professional objective, your target market. You're going to learn things about particular companies, particular industries, particular needs. And this can all go into maybe tightening up your resume to make it more
Hmm.
impactful in
Hmm.
terms of what's the market looking for right now.
So it's a bit of a feedback loop then. As you're networking, you're kind of getting an idea of, where's the demand, what's the language, how's the message resonate? And just like with a sales pitch, working in technical sales, you tighten that sales pitch with each customer. So same kind of thinking, it sounds like.
Exactly. In other words, when you look at your professional objective, you need to ask yourself, is this what the decision makers are looking for? So it's not just putting stuff out that you feel real good about. Is this what they're looking for? Is this what they need?
Hmm.
So that's a very good point that you made. Now, let me just say this about your core message. It's
Hmm.
real important. Uh, it tells your target market how effective you're going to be, and your professional objective, and you plan it carefully because this is going to be key in your networking, and
Hmm.
you're going to be saying it over and over again. So you
Hmm.
really need this thing memorized, and at the same time, take the feedback in that you're getting from this to really tighten it up because then
Hmm.
you're going to have a good, what shall I say, a good sales pitch, as you call it,
Hmm.
in terms of finding decision makers who are going to appreciate that professional objective that you're bringing to the marketplace.
Right. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, everybody out there in LinkedIn and YouTube land, thanks for tuning in. Bernie, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Again, I'll try to make some bullets and put it out there so folks have a little bit of an outline and notes to go along with this. But all right, I just want to give everyone another word of encouragement. It is a tough thing finding a job. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. It can be. I've got kids, and the kids have been kind of joking, saying, "Well, now that you're not working, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, guys, it's a lot of work, like trying to find work." And I just want to tell you, there's hope. Bernie has shared, that there are jobs out there. We just might have to be looking for them in places that aren't traditionally where we would go. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Well, everyone out there, thanks for tuning in and good luck.
Okay, definitely good luck.